Hey everyone, welcome to Total Evelyn, and today this is a really exciting video because I'm sure we've all been the victim of people who constantly make excuses. It's not nice. Are you the person that makes the excuses? Are you living your life constantly making excuses? Join me after the break. Hey everyone, welcome back to Total Evelyn, and as said before the break, are you constantly making excuses and you're having a life of dread? Because as we know, people who are making excuses are living a life through fear. Fear of failure, fear of defeat, fear of making mistakes, obviously. Making excuses constantly, maybe they're late and they're just rushing in and they make a big huge load of excuses at a meeting when sometimes nobody really wants to know why they're late, because the time they come in with all the excuses, we're almost wrapping up the meeting. So maybe think about that when you're making excuses that nobody really wants to know. And of course, the more you do give excuses, the more that you actually are late, the less credibility you're getting every time you do it. So think about this. If you are going to be late and you are rushing into the meeting, then just go into the meeting and do not defend yourself. Maybe just acknowledge the person you're late for and talk about them instead of talking about yourself. Because already the full attention's on you. It's almost like you've got the entitlement to be late and you've came in. We've all done it. Hands up. More importantly, the excuses can be a real nuisance. Now, I was in a relationship with someone, I'm not going to say who it was, but I'm positive he ran out of excuses to go to things that were group things, because I now realise that maybe there was a fear or something, or the confidence wasn't there, he was maybe feeling insecure, I don't know. But it was very boring because it was an excuse after an excuse. And my friends actually got to the stage where they were thinking, well, maybe we shouldn't ask them to go out, and maybe this was great for him because he was thinking, wow, this is brilliant. Some of the excuses were bigger and better than the next, to do with fear. So of course, when I read up about why people make excuses, these are intended reasons to defend your behaviour and neglect responsibility. Did you know that? Bet you never even thought about it as bad as that. Sometimes when people constantly make excuses, you just think, well, you wonder why they can't go to things because it's constant. So then you get a bit worried that maybe something didn't work out for them. So instead of them taking responsibility, then they'll place the blame on someone else, like maybe the car broke down. Well, it was your fault because the car wouldn't have broke down had you not touched this or something. People tend to throw blame onto other people so that they don't have to take responsibility for their own actions or for their own something that's happened to them. And somebody else will get the blame. Ask, why do they do this? Fear of success, fear of change, fear of uncertainty, fear of responsibility, as I've just said there, fear of mistakes, and fear of confidence. So how do we get away from all that? Because we don't want to be miserable in our lives. We want to have a good life. So how do we stop making the excuses? Because if you continually make excuses, guys, it is not the easy route out. Because eventually your excuses are wearing thin and it's only your own pretense. So what you're doing is you're actually lying to yourself. So instead of having all the fun with everyone else, or going for the job or doing something, then you're going to be miserable because all you're doing is realising that you're lying to yourself. Now, you're lying to other people, but you're also lying to yourself. and you know, and you call yourself all these names, so you're making yourself feel really, really bad by saying, oh my God, I'm such a fake. Why couldn't I just face up to being there? Why did I do that? And of course then you get yourself into a real bad anxiety attack or a drama attack, instead of just facing it, having an excuse. I call this taking a painkiller to get rid of the pain, because it is fear and it's anxiety, basically masking the pain of worry. So what can we do about it? Well, read the book that I tell everyone to read. Feel the fear and do it anyway. If you want, face your fear and do something different, because we all know that these excuses not only prevent you from reaching your full potential, it will make you feel so miserable. So of course, once you recognise your struggles through reading the book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, or any of these books, or just speaking to people, facing it and taking responsibility and realising and writing everything down. How many times have you made an excuse? In fact, write that in the comments for me. How many times have you gave an excuse? I can't go to work today because I can't go for this new promotion because I'm sorry, I was meant to go for the promotion, but this happened. Big fat lie. And we all know it's a big fat lie. So it's best not to tell the big fat lie. It just makes you feel so miserable. We've reached the part where we now know that it's not on. We're on your case. We know full well what you're up to. So we're after you now. There's no more excuses, and you're going to leap into finding new opportunities in your life. So how do you do that? You set goals. You set goals. What do I want to do? How am I going to go out with my friends? How am I going to stop telling them that I can't go? What are you frightened of? You face the fears. You realise what you've been frightened of. It doesn't matter. You have to love yourself and you have to carry on. So the next step is go for it. The main thing is to make sure that you're respectful and that you're responsible. And if you get these two words in your head, respectful and responsible, respectful of the person that you're telling the lies to, and responsible for the person or for yourself, because take the responsibility that you've maybe made a mistake, made an excuse, and you're not going to do that anymore, are you? What I would tend to do is, instead of making the excuse, and if you've got this dread, maybe, oh my goodness, I'm feeling very weak, I don't want to do this, my depth, maybe I should just not do it, bitten off more than I can chew, I need to get out of this, I'm feeling suffocated, I have to leave, I've got to make an excuse, oh, I'll get someone to phone me and say I have to be at a job, or I have to do something. Instead of doing that, do the complete opposite. Think about it, take a bit of a moment and write it down. What is making you feel so panic driven? And try and do the opposite, and you will start to live a better life, because it must be really miserable for you to make excuses all the time. It's definitely not the best mindset to have. Instead of listening to the negative thoughts, try and give yourself some more positive thoughts and lose the feeling that you're feeling fake, and just do it. Just you've got nothing to lose, guys, by just giving it a try. Now, before I finish this video, I would really like you to tell me if you're going to do it, if you're going to stop making the excuses. Do the opposite from what you would normally do. I would love you to do that. Will you tell me if you've done it? But also, will you give me a comment? Because I'm going to ask you a question and I want you to give me the answer in the comments. What to date has been your biggest excuse? I could give lots and lots of excuses from one of my ex-partners, and there were some whoppers, honestly, and that was because he was hot round the collar situations where he didn't want to be, and we all realised his game, because it was the same thing every week and every month. Well, it got to every week, but it had been a very regular occurrence. So don't let people know exactly what you're up to, and don't be fake, Be truthful, be responsible, be respectful to others. And if you are late all the time when you're going to a meeting, don't be the one that tells people lies when you go in. Oh my goodness, the traffic was so bad. Oh, I got held up. All these big excuses. Nobody wants to know. I hope that was useful, guys, and I will see you next week. Remember, guys, I'm doing 3 videos a week now: Sunday, a Tuesday and a Friday. And I would really appreciate a little comment, but also if you are liking the videos, then please subscribe, like and share. Don't forget to hit the bell to get the latest video coming up next in the notifications. Take good care, lots of love, cheers, no more excuses. Remember to hit the bell, no more excuses. Remember to give me the answer to that question. I'd love to hear some of the whoppers. Bye, take care. Lipstick all over my hand.